Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I talk about what it's like to run an insurance agency. We talk about all things marketing, sales, staffing, and retention. You know, most agents aren't given a solid playbook on how to start and succeed, and that's all I want to do is lay out some information to help you out. So in order to do that, I want to give you something for free. So I want you to send me a text to 208-213-8809 and just text me the word free. And I will give you this resource that I've curated with about 15 different links. Some of it's from me, some of it's from other leaders in the industry, some of it is YouTube channels. There's some podcasts in there other than mine, and some resources in there that you can download to help you market, to help you sell better, to help you get in front of commercial, just help you learn your craft. So 208-213-8809, text me the word free. Okay, today I wanted to tell a story, a good story. A win, if you will. So I went toe-to-toe with one of my underwriters recently. I have a restaurant that's getting non-renewed, and it's because alcohol sales were higher than 35%, and my company is getting out of that market. The caveat is the owners of this specific restaurant is my number one client, my best client. They pushed a lot of premium through my agency. They've been clients of mine for 15 years. I have all of their business. They have more than one business. I have one other business of theirs. I have their work comp. I have their personal lines. I've got 2 homes. I've got 4 cars. I've got everything with them, including this restaurant. This is a model client for my company. Okay. They do not like to file claims. They avoid them at all costs, and they're what we want. So I got the non-renewal for my underwriter. Hey, man, we're going to non-renew this, which means I can go find it someplace else. I can always go look for it somewhere else. So I have a couple months to figure this out. So I start peeking around and trying to find a place, but at the same time, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to be like, you know what? Let me see if I can keep this policy. So I call my underwriter. Actually, I wrote him a letter. I'm like, hey, man, we'd really like to keep this because of all the things I just mentioned. I'm like, this is a great account for us. I'd like you to please make an exception and keep this account. And I let it go. I'm like, we'll see what happens. So, now we start looking at other companies, okay? Preferred companies, admitted companies, and we're striking out all over the place. This is a market that's really getting tight. Alcohol receipts between 35 and 50% are seemingly no longer like a preferred risk. We're about to go non-admitted. So I hear back from my underwriter, and he calls. Now I know it's bad, right? Now I know it's a no because he's calling me. My underwriter doesn't call me with good news, unfortunately. He's like, hey, man, we looked at all this stuff, and I'm going to and he was like, no, we can't do this. We're taking a hard line with this risk. And I was like, you know what? And I was upset, and he caught me in a moment, and I was like, you know what, man? We used to be able to call and talk to underwriting and be like, look, I think this is a good risk and this is why. And you're telling me we're not because the company is taking a hard line in print that says 35%. That's what it says. We can't do it anymore. I didn't say it to him, but I was thinking it. I was like, well, why do you have a job? If all of this is just laid out in a manual and you follow the rules, why do we have underwriters? Okay, what are you doing here? I was upset. I didn't say it, to my credit. But I thought it immediately. So I was like, all right, fine, gone. Now, I decided to do something a little different because he said he went to his supervisor. So what I did was I recently went to a conference where our president of commercial lines was speaking, and I did not get a chance to meet him in person, but I met some of his peers, president of personal lines, president of life, like I was in a room with all these people and I've had conversations with them, and I've been doing this long enough to feel comfortable, asking them. So I tracked down this guy's email address and I sent him a BombBomb video. Okay. I was like, what's up? I was like, hey, Eric, my name is Matt. I want to tell you a story from the field. I'm a 20-year agent. I didn't get to see a Toppers this year, but here's what's going on. And I said, look, now he's been our commercial president for 5 months. that's why I kind of did this. I was like, look, I'm coming to you because there's some new blood in our company. Okay. And this is what we've been dealing with for a while is it's been very rigid. It's been a no without any conversation, and it's been tough. So it was a very good email. It's a very good video. And I was like, look, if there's anything you can do, I even told him, like, look, I don't expect you to do anything. I just want you to know that this is what's going on, okay, out here. And what I would really like to have happen is for us to be more collaborative between the agents and the underwriters. I think that has gotten lost over the years. It doesn't feel like we're working together as a team. It's just they're kind of telling us what to do. So I sent that to him, and I sent him the policy number, and I let it go. I actually had to follow up with him because sometimes these emails don't land. Sometimes they go to junk. So like 3 days later, I hadn't heard anything. I sent him an email. I was like, hey, Eric, I sent you an email. Sometimes my stuff goes to junk. Why don't you check it? He responds in about an hour. He's like, Matt, that is the greatest try to save a policy that I have ever seen. So I'm telling you, the video thing it's magic. Okay. Like people don't forget it. All right. So he's like, look, I'll tell you what, we're going to take a look at this. I'm going to talk to my, leading field underwriters or whatever, and we'll see what we can do. Okay. So now I wait. It's been 3 weeks now. I finally reach out to him again. I was like, hey man, just checking in. Is there anything happening here? He goes, oh, well, you were supposed to hear from someone 2 weeks ago. I was like, oh, I haven't heard from him. So then I see that video I sent him, I see that it gets watched. It has this tracking software in it. So I get an email that says when it's watched. It gets watched. Doesn't tell me who watches it, but I know who watched it, right? The head of my underwriting department. I'm like, oh, he didn't do it. And so now he's watching it, and then I get a call in like an hour. Long story longer is that they're like, look, we're going to keep this account for you. He says, no promises we're going to keep it the year after or something like that. But for now, we're going to take a shot. This isn't something that, we would normally do, but for you, we're going to do it. And I was so stoked for so many reasons. But I saved this account for this clients. This is why you have an agent who's willing to go like the extra mile and then the next mile. I could have, like, I only pull this out if I really believe it, you know what I mean? But sending a video email to the president of commercial lines, that's the first time I've ever done that. And it worked. I'm not going to exploit it. I'm not going to do it often, but I felt strongly like this is enough. God, it's been tough the last few years. So this is something that I was willing to do. And I just wanted to share that with you. So if you really believe in something, like go to the top, keep climbing the ladder. Okay. There is a end point to these decisions. And if you plead your case, I was very professional. If you plead it professionally, things like this can happen. It made me feel good that they were willing to do this. It was a big win for me. I hope the initial underwriter that didn't approve the renewal maybe learn something. Maybe he'll loosen up a little bit. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. So, hey, my name is Matt. This is Agency Launched. Don't forget to send me a text, 208-213-8809 with the word free, and I'll hook you up with this great resource with more stuff that you can do with just a ton of resources. Again, podcasts, YouTube channels, downloadable assets, how to write 20 policies in a week. All my free stuff is in there too. So I loaded it up. 208-213-8809. Thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.